Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Can you hide it?
I can't hide it because I'm really excited because look, I'm getting the very first one. Look, because I'm
It's
here.
not the very first one.
Well, it's not. It's the first one of
It's
this particular batch, right?
First one of the latest iteration of it. Mm-hmm.
Tell me about this, please, sir.
Okay, so you know what's so funny is there's an article that came out today talking about this and how a bunch of people are working on this, and I was like, I've been working on this since 2019 and figured this out in 2019.
Awesome.
And it's like, wish I would have got it out there in 2019. Anyway, so this is Regenerate. What it's designed for is the GABA system in your brain is incredibly important. It's what puts the brakes on your neurons. So if you have a low level of GABA in your brain will be very excited, scatterbrained. If it's moving, it's kind of like a sync issue. Sync, SYNC, not sync. So if your neurons are communicating at too fast of a speed, your arms and your feet can't move that speed. Your hand can't move that speed. You can't get your thoughts out. You can't write them down. You can't type them out. So now you're in a state of anxiety. You have excitement, but it's uncontrolled excitement. This is just a fancy GABA delivery device. So it's a way of getting GABA into your brain that doesn't take many weeks. Anybody who doesn't want to buy Regenerate, or Regenerate is too expensive, buy GABA, take GABA every day, and over a period of months, if you stick with it, you're not going to notice anything when you take GABA on day one. You're not going to notice anything on day 4 or 5, but you will notice off in the future. What Regenerate does is gets GABA into your brain immediately. So if you're in an acute situation where high anxiety, or you're jonesing for a drink because you have the shakes, you're hungover, you have that hangover, that high anxiety hangover, this will knock it out. I'm not going to say that it's going to knock out your whole hangover. I will say that this would work better for a hangover than any hangover supplement that I ever tried. But hangover is just a cute word for withdrawal symptoms. And alcohol withdrawal symptoms are among the worst withdrawal symptoms of any drug. They should come with a much more extensive warning label than it does. It's Regenerate. It gets GABA into your brain immediately. There's a little bit of unpleasant effects, but hey, the only way to get it in your brain immediately is to increase blood flow. So there's blood flow increasers in here. So it is not uncommon to get flushed for 15 minutes. I like getting flushed. A lot of people would like that feeling when they go to work out. But if you're not aware of it, it could be off-putting if you weren't aware that you were going to get flushed when you take this. But it's part of how it gets GABA in the brain immediately.
Can you define flushed?
So I'm, genetically Irish. I don't identify as Irish, but I'm genetically Irish. So I would look like a lobster for 15 minutes. Now, you can always take less and not look like a lobster. But if you want to knock out a high anxiety and unsettled state, you're either unsettled and you're really, you would ordinarily reach for a drink to settle yourself down. You can reach for this. Just know, it's kind of like, it's similar to drinking. How many people get red-faced from drinking? And this, is working on the same pathways that alcohol does. So, just be aware. And if you keep the dose low, you can keep it low enough where you won't get flushed, but you might feel a little tingly, You can have a little bit of a detoxification effect, because when we boost blood flow, all of your systems are also getting blood flow boosted. So, that the blood flow boosting effect may make you have to use the bathroom, number one or number two. Basically, for 30 minutes after taking this, you want to be in a safe place. The first few times that you take it, until you figure out how this affects you. Once you figure out what dose is right for you, and you can, let's say you get very red-faced with a tablespoon, okay? But at a quarter teaspoon, you just get a little mellow and you have no effects. So then fine, take a quarter teaspoon and head out the door. Or take a quarter teaspoon before an important meeting. You're not going to get flushed from that amount. But when you have an acute situation like alcohol withdrawal, hangover, a severe anxiety attack, then you want to get the flush, because after the flush and during the flush, it's like having a few drinks. It's just that unsettled brain just settles down, because it's getting GABA to your neurons, slowing down the transmission from neuron to neuron. And it's like, don't we want our neurons to communicate? Yeah, but not too fast. Like I said, it's a sync issue. If you're out of sync, you want to slow down those neurons to get back into sync.
How do you take it?
Depending on how much relaxation I want, I'll just scoop, from a quarter teaspoon, to a full teaspoon in a cup, maybe 2 teaspoons if I was really a mess, like in early 2020, and then just put water in it and spin it. I have one of those battery powered mixers. That's great, and just do it like a shot. Enough water where it's not pasty, because they are powders, but you don't want to have like a full glass, because this is not made to be delicious. And there's a reason for that, because I don't believe in artificial sweeteners. I think artificial sweeteners are poisonous. I don't want to put in sweeteners, because obviously we know that sugar is a poison. So take it like a shot.